No, I mean I thought we did a pretty good job there of giving. We're going to give up something, obviously, but hopefully you gain more than you lose.
So it doesn't bother you if they're taking it. I guess
if they're making them, consistently making them. We really try all the time not to turn people loose. You want to pressure them and keep them in front of them.
I feel like your press last game. Does that?
It wasn't their fault though, Mike. I mean, in all honesty, how do you take guys out? And it's like I said, they changed some things just to get the ball in bounds that we're trying to explain to Tavon and Issa what to do, and they had no clue. And that's why I tried to play some zone, that was a great coaching move. I think they made like 6 threes or something. But
does it, assuming you're not fully armed, right? Or maybe you can't press as much, maybe go to zone. Did you not go to that zone based on the last game? Or is it something that you have to work on and get better at because you're almost left with a few other alternatives?
Some of the shots they took, most people who play zone would want them to take those shots.
Okay.
They made shots. And people play zone against us sometimes, and when Dax and JC are making shots, we can't get zoned. It comes down to if people are going to shoot the ball the way Texas shot it, you can't play zone. I just didn't know they were going to shoot it that well.
You have to worry about it even more so than with Oklahoma. I know Oklahoma struggled to shoot the ball recently, but you have to worry about going to a zone against them.
I think the worst thing you can do is hope that they continue to miss some shots. I think if we stand there and they start making shots, then they're going to keep on making shots. And I think the more shots they make, particularly Buddy, the more, and Cousins really, the harder shots they take and make. So we're going to try to make them take hard ones to start with.
A couple of guys after the Texas game called this Oklahoma game a must-win situation. What's your thoughts on must-win? Do you buy into that must-win philosophy? Is there such a thing?
I think if you have aspirations of winning a conference championship, which was one of the goals that they set in the beginning of the year, knowing that chances are pretty good, Kansas won't lose in Allen Fieldhouse. You can't take a bunch of home losses, and we've already kind of given one back at Texas game. So the way this league goes with Kansas and Allen Fieldhouse, you have to win your home games if you're going to win a championship.
You encouraged your guys fought back and got it down to 2 possessions with whatever it was, 30 seconds left or whatnot. You went on that run.
They're not going to quit. We finally made some shots. You don't make runs unless you make shots. We finally made a couple shots and made some things happen at the other end. But they're not going to quit. I mean, we miss shots, and there are times when people make shots they haven't made in a while. It's an extremely competitive bunch. I mean, we're more competitive than we are skilled.
They haven't shot the ball. Talking about Oklahoma, they haven't shot the ball all that particularly well the last 2 games. Is that good news or bad news? Hard to tell.
I don't think that matters. Buddy Hield is one of the premier shooters in the country, so he's going to make shots. It's a matter of hopefully he makes them the game after this one, but he's going to make shots.
Right.
He's not going to keep missing shots. And from what I understand about him and Cousins and Woodard, they're gem rats. I think somebody said Jordan Woodard would be considered a workaholic. Workaholic. Scratch that. Right. Workaholic.
I'll take credit for alcoholic.
if he wasn't on the same team with Cousins and Buddy Hield, because those guys are just off the charts with the time that they put in. So's Bob, but it's a different venue.
Off the charts.
One thing about Oklahoma is they're starting to rack up some minutes. They don't play a bunch of guys. And for the jump shooting teams, that's something that obviously you have to look at as a coach.
They're playing more though. I mean, they play Buford, and they're resting those guys on the front line. They play, I can't pronounce his name, big kid. They play him. They're playing. He's actually playing more people this year than what he played a year ago.
About a week ago, you said you once projected Miles Carter to be the Villanova guards. Are you talking Fisher, Redding, all the way back to Ray and Nardi and
No, probably the ones we played against.
It's a curious comparison. What do you see? Why do you think that? I guess not curious in the right word. It's interesting.
I thought they both had great freshman years, and they both are. They're gym rats. They're both guys love being in the gym. They both love to play. So you just figure that their progression will continue.
It's not about the way they played though. Those guys were like
well, they were all kind of, what were they? They were they point guards? Were they off guards? Were they? And I think that's what these two guys are. I mean, they're guards, and I think that's what Jay had, and they were to a degree interchangeable. Fisher didn't always have the ball. Reynolds didn't always have the ball. They could play on the ball. They could get off the ball.